Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the continuation, the part 2 of my previous video. A conversation you must have before you say I do. If you've not watched the part 1, please go watch the part 1 so that you can follow up and know where we've started from, because this is a part 2, or rather a continuation of the conversations you must have with your significant other before you say I do. Without further much ado, let's just head straight to it. If you're seeing my face for the first time, Ade is a YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much for those of you that watched the part 1 of it. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. So let's just head straight into it. I know we talked about self conversation. We talked about just a brush up of what the conversation what the part 1 was about. I know we talked about self conversation. We talked about paying of bills, house chores, kids, and all. So the next on my list now is, do you have a secret that I do not know about? Is there a secret? Share this secret. Converse about it. Tell your significant other, okay, this is what it is. This is so that you don't hear it from outside. Okay, I have a child before, and just so you know, not when the person gets married to you and then you just start telling the person, okay, I have a child outside and then blah 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 blah. No, this conversation should happen before you say I do to your significant other. Do not just bring things, should not just be springing up. Okay, things should not just be springing up. If there is a secret, please share with your significant other. If the person is for you, the person will stay. If the person is not for you, that's the best time and the right time to know. Okay, so every conversation, every secret, share it. Then the next I have on my list, of course, I have my journal down here in case you're wondering why I'm looking down. The next on my list is childhood conversations. This cannot be overemphasized. See, actually, please pardon the way I'm sweating, the weather is really hot and there is no light. Childhood conversations cannot be overemphasized. Some of us adults, we are just recuperating from the trauma from childhood. Some of us did not have the easy childhood upbringing. Some of us, we were bullied as a child, as kids. Some of us, we had these insecurities as kids. Some of us were like, I'm too fat, I'm too fat. So you lived with that insecurity as a child. Some of us were like, I look like a broom, I look like one no con, and the rest of them. These are the insecurities we battle with as a child. So discuss it with your significant other. Yes, it is actually important and necessary, because you might still be battling with this childhood thing without you knowing. So your significant other will not be wondering why you're acting a certain way or the rest of them. Please, your childhood conversations, talk about it. What was your childhood like? Did you like the way you were raised? Did you like the environment you were raised in and all? Did you want something like the way you grew up? Do you want the same for your child, or you want something better? Talk about your childhood so that your significant other can be aware of what it looks like when you were a child, so that whenever you're putting up some actions. So the next on my list is, what would you do in case of infertility? Nobody's praying that there should be issues. Nobody's praying for that. But those that have those issues, they also did not pray to have issues. It just happened. They just found themselves there, and you see them struggling. You see them not knowing what to do, jumping from pillar to post, having decision problems. So you should talk about it as well. Like, what if? We are usually scared of saying the negative things. Nobody's talking about negative vibes here, okay? I do not preach negativity, but what's the plan B? Yes, what do we like? If this thing happens, how are we handling it? What are we doing about it? What kind of decision are we making? Are we going to adopt? Are we going to do surrogacy? What happens if infertility comes? And this is the simple truth. If it's a condition, what if? How do you handle it? So you people should talk about it before saying I do. You don't just walk up to the altar and you say for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. And when the for worse comes, you are and when the poorer comes, you are running away. You are, you don't jackpot. So please have these conversations as well. When if there is infertility, how are we going to handle it? Discuss it with your significant other. It's important. The next on my list is, what's your sex drive? You need to talk about it. Yes, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm talking about. What is your sex drive? Are you the lazy type? Or are you the type that likes creativity, madness? Let's fling ourselves here and there. I do not care having it anywhere and anytime. What's your libido like? We need to discuss it. It is very important to have this convo because, like I said, you two are two different people, raised by different people, lived in different environments, influenced by different people, different things, different culture, different religion, or even if you're in the same religion, you people attend this different, everything is different. You're just coming together as one. The way I see sex might be different from, we certainly different from the way you are going to see sex. So you have to talk about it so that you can find yourselves in the middle. Okay? Talk about it so that you don't feel starved in your marriage or you don't feel overused in the marriage. You have to talk about it. What's your sex drive like? What drives, like, what turns you on? Or what is it that I need to do to spice up the whole sex thing? You need to discuss about it. You really need to talk about it in total. You don't just, I said it in my first, in the part 1 of this video. Do not leave any stone unturned. It is very important. It is very, very, very crucial and important. If you are the type that likes sex a lot, say it, talk about it. If you are the type that sex can come but it's not your thingy, talk about it. If you're the type that likes timetable in having sex, some people, they are like, okay, we can have sex on so and so days, maybe 3 times a week, 2 times a week, once a week, 3 times a month, depending. Talk about it so that nobody is going to be caught unawares. You see some people, the reason why they are getting divorced these days, they'll tell you, he does not satisfy me sexually. She does not satisfy me sexually. She does not have a good drive, or he doesn't have a good drive. Like, he doesn't know how to grind or ride. He does talk about it. Know these things about yourselves before you say I do. Because these are the things that we talk about. These are the things that make up the compatibility. Okay? So talk about it. Now, another I have on my list is, where do you want us to live? I'm talking about location. Location. Where do you want us to live? If we are living in Nigeria, where in Nigeria are we living? If we're living in Lagos, where in Lagos are we living? If we're living in Owerri, if you're living in Ogun State, if you're living in Ekiti, whatever, where are we living? I think what everybody will be talking about is proximity to work. So you talk about it, because definitely you are coming from your own house. This person is coming from his own house. Whose place is more comfortable? Whose place is more accommodating? Is it the lady's place? You can move. Make the lady's place your home. If it's the guy's place, you can move. You make the guy's place your home. It is not a stereotype that you must move into the man's house. Whoever that is moving, that place automatically becomes your home. And the man is taking responsibility of it. It automatically makes it the man's house. So, where do you live? It's very paramount. It's very important. You discuss it. You talk about it. How are we moving? Or if both of you are leaving your individual houses to get an accommodation, outside you people's homes. That's why this conversation should happen in the first place anyways. So the next I have on my list is the religion aspect. This happens actually when you have separate churches. In case if you people are Christians, you have separate churches, or maybe this person is a Muslim, this other person is a Christian. You people have to come to one conclusion and decide the religion you're going to go for. Or if you people want to do separate thing, discuss about it, talk about it, and decide on the religion to go for. The next on the list is, when it comes to me, I'm using myself as a lady as an example. Who do you prioritize, me or your mom? Or who do I prioritize, you or my dad? You know, that kind of thing. I know some people will say, hey, she's my mom, you know, that kind of thing. When it is that situation, what do you do? Anyway, it depends on the scenario of whatever that will make you to be in that situation. But please, you have to talk about it. Who is your priority? Let everybody know their stand. Let everybody know their stand. The next on my list is, what will happen that will make you say, I'm done with this marriage? Like, what is your deal breaker? What will happen and say, you see this thing? If you do this thing, forget it. We are done. We are so done. What is that thing? Talk about it. Talk about that thing so that nobody makes mistake. Some people will tell you that I have made up my mind, I have decided, I have said it inside of my heart that it is you or nobody else. There is nothing you will do that will make me leave you. I have chosen to love you. I have chosen to be with you. And then when Kasala bursts, we don't pray for that. But when it happens, you start saying, I need a divorce. That's because you did not have that conversation. That's because you did not tell your significant other that, you see, this particular thing I cannot do. Like, I can forgive you all your excesses, but this one, no. Some of us, we don't even know what our deal breaker is. That's why you need to have a self-conversation. Know yourself. Discover yourself. Understand. This is me. This is me. Anytime, any day. This is me. Then you can be able to tell someone your standards. This other person will tell you his or her standard. And then you people meet and at a compromise and say, okay, this is what we are going to do. That's why you should have these listed conversations before saying I do. It is very important. It is very necessary. It is very, very paramount. Please. And now the last, but not the least. Like I said, the list is endless. You know what you want to converse before saying I do to your significant other. You have it in your head. You know these things. Do not be shy to bring up any conversation. The last but not the least, what happens if I get a job elsewhere? This particular point is very important in the sense that some people, the nature of their job takes them around, and maybe your partner is not comfortable with it. He or she is not finding it funny, and you start bringing, as in, the marriage done the sweet they go, it's going to how many years now? You're then saying, you travel a lot, I don't like that. You need to stop this job so that you can focus on the family. Seriously, come on. This should have been discussed long before now. Not after 2 years of your marriage, or after 3 years of your marriage, or after a year or some months of your marriage. No. This should have been discussed even before you walk down the aisle with that person. What happens if I get a job elsewhere? So when the person is actually applying, the person is knowing what he or she is doing, or when the company is trying to transfer the person would make arrangement or would know whether to take or turn down the offer. So discuss it. What happens if you get a job elsewhere? Are we all moving? Are we all moving? Or you move alone and then come visit us when you're on break? What happens when you get a job elsewhere? This question is very important that you talk about. You need to talk about it. Nothing is constant. Changes happen every time. Every time changes happen. So what happens when there is a change? What happens, like, I meet you, I'm working at so and so place, you are working at so and so place, we are fine, we're good, we're dating, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden somebody has to move. What will happen? So you need to talk about this thing, like, okay, if movement happens now, what are we going to do? Talk about it. Is very important. Please, I beg of you. With all these points of mine, mm, with all these points of mine, please, if you also know any other thing that you would like to talk about before saying I do, say it in the comment section. Share your ideas, share your opinions, and let's just spread these things, because we are, me personally, I am done with this marriage, or I am done. Why are you done? Like, where, how did you get there to the point that you are done? That's the reason why you have to have certain conversations that, will help you. Have these conversations before you tell this baby girl or this sugar boo that I agree and I do. I want to do forever with you. Okay? Please have these conversations to avoid story that touches the heart. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying up to this point. See, don't mind me as I am dripping glory. Okay? Not heat though. I'm not dripping sweat. I'm dripping glory. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And please take a moment to appreciate this look and this hair. Oh my god. Okay, I'm actually acting vain right now. I'll see you guys in my next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you have not, please. And I'll see you in my next video. Get your PVC, stay safe. Remember, I love you so much. Vote wisely.